There was a time not too long ago when the President of the United States was the de facto leader of the free world. No matter what the issue, the world looked to the United States for leadership. And there was always one person whose opinion counted the most, and that was the President of the United States. There have always been big questions. Will we have peace? Will we go to war? Will we have an alliance? Will we back down? These were matters that everyone discussed. But throughout the Western world, it was the voice of the President of the United States that everyone wanted to hear. And his was often the last voice to speak because he spoke with clear moral authority. And now we have Donald Trump. And everything has changed. No longer do we have leadership. No longer do we have gravitas. No longer do we have veritas. Instead, we have chaos and coercion. And if he acts like a bully, it's because he is one. And if he sometimes has good ideas, forgive me for saying that, more often his ideas are inane, destructive, or just plain wacky. Remember a couple of weeks ago when he announced that he had forced the Coca-Cola company to start using cane sugar in their Coca-Cola. Now, why does the President of the United States concern himself with the formula for Coca-Cola? Or announcing that the Gulf of Mexico would now be called the Gulf of America. Why, Donald? Why? Or flogging merchandise, selling wine, trading cards of him dancing, Bibles, golden cell phones. There's no way the previous presidents would have done any such thing because they cared about the dignity of the office and their own image. Of course, there's a theory about the wacky. It's been suggested that he keeps on coming up with all sorts of crazy ideas because it distracts people from the more controversial things that he does. Maybe, but maybe we'll never know. But I do want to ask one question. How did we get here? How did we get to the point where the man who should be the leader of the free world concerns himself with Coca-Cola? And to get that answer, the countries of the free world need to look in the mirror. You see, the taxpayers of the United States got tired of subsidizing the rest of the world economically, and American mothers got tired of sending their sons off to endless wars. Americans would have borne these costs gladly if the rest of the world was doing its fair share, but we weren't. And so they're fed up, and they elected Donald Trump. Take defense spending, for example. While the Americans were spending 4% of their GDP on defense, most of the rest of us were spending 2%. Some of us were even spending less than 1% on national defense. The Americans got tired of this. But worst of all, as the countries of the Western world lived on American largesse, we mocked the Americans. The Americans protected us, and we thought ourselves morally superior because we spent our money on other things. And no more. Now we pay the price. The free world may no longer have a leader, but Americans have a president who is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He's doing exactly what he was elected to do. Sorry if that offends you, but if Trump is wacky, he's also winning. Can I ask you to do the usual thing? It would really encourage me to continue making original content.